One day, I was on duty as a fitness coach for my 360 fitness company, which partners with a call center agency called TELUS International in Iloilo, Philippines. My shift started at 6 a.m. and ended at 3 p.m. I woke up early, made breakfast, prepped my lunch, took a bath, changed into my work clothes, and headed straight to a nearby jeepney stop. I rode a jeepney toward my workplace, located on the 15th floor of SM Strata. I got off in front of my SM City at exactly 5 a.m. and crossed the overpass from SM Mall to SM Strata. Once there, I took the elevator from the lobby up to the 15th floor. After arriving, I signed the attendance logbook at the security desk and used my access card to enter the workplace. When I got to the fitness gym, I noticed something strange. The smart TV was still on. I asked the security guard about it because the TV should never be left on overnight. I messaged our group chat asking the coach from the previous shift if he might have forgotten to turn it off. He replied almost instantly, saying he had definitely turned it off before leaving. Then the security guard came back, his face pale. He told me they had checked the CCTV footage and the TV had turned on by itself. I was speechless. The smart TV required someone to physically press a switch located behind it to turn it on. It made no sense. Still, I tried to shake it off and continue my morning routine. Before my shift officially started at 6 a.m., I decided to squeeze in my own workout. It was leg day. Smith machine barbell squats, deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, and dumbbell calf raises. After my workout, I stretched, then headed to the shower room to freshen up. I was drenched in sweat. As the water ran over me, I suddenly heard a faint sound. Psst. I froze. I knew for a fact I was alone in the gym. I tried to brush it off. Maybe it was just a pipe or the sound of water. But then I heard it again, louder this time. Psst! My heart started pounding, and then I heard it, a deep, demonic voice calling my name.
Christian!
I panicked. I rushed out of the shower, water still dripping from my hair, grabbed my clothes, and threw them on as fast as I could. My hands were shaking. When I sat down at my desk, trying to steady my breathing, I kept telling myself it was all in my head, just stress, just exhaustion. But at 6 a.m. when clients started arriving, one of them, someone I was close to, noticed how pale I looked.
"Are you okay, Coach?"
he asked. I hesitated before answering.
"No. Do you think there are spirits in this place?"
He didn't even hesitate. He nodded.
"Technically, yes. After a call center employee died of a heart attack here, people say her spirit still roams the building. The workplace was never blessed by a priest after she passed. People have reported strange things. Doors opening, equipment moving, hearing voices."
He leaned in closer.
"I've experienced it too. One time I was lying down doing crunches when something grabbed my leg, but when I looked up, there was nothing there."
He stared at me with a serious expression.
"Be careful, Coach."
I sat there in silence, chills crawling up my spine. That night replayed in my mind over and over again. If that spirit really is still here, will it come back for me? I rented an apartment when I was 24. It was cheap, but I liked it. My first time living alone, and I was excited. The building was 6 stories high, with more than 10 households, but strangely, it was always quiet. I rarely saw any of my neighbors, and when I did, they never looked at me. They just walked past me like I wasn't there. Something about it felt off. One day, I was heading out to the supermarket, walking down the hall, when I noticed one of the apartment doors was slightly open. Out of curiosity, I peeked inside. There was a large group of people sitting around a long table eating. It was dark inside, no lights, no sounds, just the faint clicking of dishes. Every window was covered by thick curtains, and the whole place looked like it was drenched in shadow. Before I could process what I was seeing, the door slammed shut right in my face. I jumped, but brushed it off, thinking maybe the wind caught it. I went to the store, bought what I needed, and then came back. When the elevator doors opened on my floor, I froze. There was a crowd of people standing right in front of me. Their faces were pale, their expressions blank, but their eyes, they were angry. They just stood there, staring. None of them moved, none of them spoke. The silence felt suffocating. Then, one of them leaned in close and whispered, "Invite us." His voice was so quiet, it barely sounded human. I forced a nervous smile and tried to squeeze past them. As I did, a horrible stench hit me, something foul and rotten, and I nearly gagged. When I turned around, the elevator doors closed behind me, and they were gone. That uneasy feeling stuck with me all night. A few days later, I came home from work to see police cars parked out front. Officers were standing near an apartment door, the same one I had peeked into. One officer stopped me and explained what happened. The man who lived there hadn't paid rent for weeks. The manager tried knocking, but there was no answer, only a terrible smell coming from inside. When they broke the door open, they found a pile of shoes in the entryway, far too many for one person. Inside, there were clothes scattered everywhere, shirts, pants, coats, laid out as if people had vanished right out of them. In the middle of the room was that same long table, covered in food, rotten food, mold growing on the plates, but there wasn't a single person in sight. On the wall, written in large red letters, were the words, "Thank you for inviting us." The tenant was never found. I didn't know his name or his face, so I couldn't help the police. But every time I walk past that apartment door, I still wonder, who were those people I saw eating in the dark?